9 o'clock on the dot. Ready for another episode of Off the Cuff. And yeah, I don't know why, but I'm super nervous. I'm really, really nervous for today's episode. Decided to try something new, wear a bit of vintage, and have my hair down this time. Tried to curl it a little bit and put a little more effort into my look. Did the makeup as well. I decided to wear like a dark mixed with a bit of a light MAC lipstick, and of course the lip gloss. Right, gotta put some more lip gloss on. So yeah, this is the second episode of my Instagram live. I decided to call it Off the Cuff because I really am here doing anything from, banter to answering questions to sharing, personal stories, and also just trying to give a little bit of advice to, the girls and guys out there. So if this is your first time hanging out with me, thank you so much for coming through. And there's no rules of engagement. There's absolutely no, how can I say? There's no specific way of doing things. There's no agenda. We're not following an entire fucking list of things to get through. It's just me hanging out, right? The background, thank you very much, Ms., is, my signature. Gotta have the liquor in the background. I decided to put some GH Mum there because we're running a bit low. So that's just to hide the emptiness. And of course, my flowers on the other side. So yeah, second episode of Off the Cuff. I really, really had a good time last weekend. It was so much fun because everybody was so engaging. And I think that, yes, the theme was predominantly about lockdown, but it was really a nice way to introduce myself to a lot of you and also just gauge, what people are really talking about, what, people are interested in, how they are surviving this lockdown. So I think this time around, it's like sort of the same, lockdown related, but then also, just me sharing a couple of personal stories, thanks to, some of your suggestions. This is my shirt. I've had it for years and years and years, and I thought maybe I should just do away with the black tonight and add a bit of spunk. Now that I think about it, I'm not really digging, the hair tonight. And also, if you've seen some of my pictures on Instagram, I had like super pink hair. So now with all the washing, a lot of the dye is coming out, right? But we got to make it work somehow, hey? Gots to make it work. Right. So in the week, I posted a question just pretty much about, what sort of banter you'd like to hear, where your mind is at, what you'd like me to talk about, just in terms of like sharing and that kind of stuff. And one of the sort of topics I thought I'd introduce is this whole thing of, makeup and people doing their makeup and posting different looks. Today I saw there was like this challenge where, peeps were using celebrities and sort of recreating that. But I thought just instead of talking about makeup, on its own, maybe just talk about the journey in terms of makeup for me, right? So the sort of lesson in that is that everything that you try and do, everything that you try and experiment with, let it be a journey, let there be a story, right? So I've always had an incredible makeup artist. She's self-taught, she's beautiful, she's talented, she's really, really, always tried to do new things and really, really better her craft, right? And it is an art. I think as a makeup artist, you've got to really take your shit seriously, right? Because cannot fuck up the face, right? So, I thought since it's the lockdown, let's try something new. Let's try, and do this makeup thing myself. And how difficult can it be? Like if everybody's doing it, how difficult can it really be? So, I kind of convinced Bay to buy me a bit of makeup, went to the Clicks. Shame the poor lady was packing shelves, and I was like, listen, you must help me now, So called the makeup artist, called the vet, put on the phone. I said, what do we need? It was like a fucking Toys R Us scramble, And by the end of that, like maybe 30-40 minute session, I had just the basics, the foundation and, all the gel that you need for your eyebrows, etc. And got home and I was like, fuck, let's get the YouTube tutorials out and try it out, right? And maybe not every day, but once in a while, I'll sit in the bathroom and I'll practice, I'll start with the eyebrows, do the foundation, do the contouring, etc. And, now I can sit here and say, okay, for my Instagram Live, I'll do a bit of a face beat, right? And I think the lesson in all of that is that I've never been a makeup girl. I've never really been interested in learning how to, do my eyebrows, and I could not give a fuck about contouring. But it's a beautiful example of, first of all, trying something new and really enjoying it, enjoying, what a couple of little things can do to your face, learning about the transformation, learning about, the science behind it, I suppose. And, having a very supportive partner to say, fuck, if this is what you want to do, let me support you, let me, lend you my face for a little bit and let's have fun, right? And it could be, anything really. I said this last week, that if cooking is something that you've decided to try out, I'm hoping that by the end of the lockdown, you would have perfected some filet mignon type of shit, you would have been able to do some hollandaise, with your eggs. So, I've really looked at this whole makeup thing as a journey, just trying something new, and I've really found it quite interesting. I found it a lot of fun. I respect makeup artists everywhere. I think, fuck, this is no joke. Like to do this on somebody else's face is hectic. It is so difficult, right? And if you've checked out my Instagram stories today, you'll see that I got to do my partner's face. It did not turn out great, but it was not shit either, So I still got a long way to go. But I think, yeah, like I said, you find something that, you've never done before. We're not saying be perfectionists. We're not saying, that must now be your career. It's all about just getting out of your comfort zone, and trying something different. So let everything, that you do be done with love, do it with, confidence, say, fuck, I might not be an MUA and MUA might not be in my bio, but, I'm pretty sure that I can do this to the best of my ability, right? So, yeah, I thought I'd just start out with my makeup story, and let you guys in on one or two secrets. Oh, I've been told that I should put my hair to the back a little bit, and I should flick it. Oh, okay. Thanks, babe. Okay, last week I had, a bit of a bun situation, and then I thought, let me just curl it. I had some really nice clips here, which I think would have been fucking fantastic for this Instagram Live, but I was told no, so I'm not really sure. But yeah, so that's the story with today's makeup. I've got like a whole bunch of like MAC lipsticks, and today's one, holy shit, you see, this is why I could never do this. Okay, lost the lipstick that I've put on. Oh, no, it's not that one. I should probably look at the name first before I unpack the whole damn thing. Okay, either way, it's one of these. It's definitely not root. Aha! Deep Rooted. This is the one. Put a bit of Deep Rooted, and I think I mixed it with like a pink. Yeah, mixed it with this one. Alright, it's called Kinda Sexy. I don't know if I'm kind of sexy tonight, but yeah. So shout out to everybody who's tuned in today. It's off the cuff. Really just, hanging out, talking shit, a little bit of banter, sharing a couple of personal stories, not wearing zambak, and, just kind of engaging with everyone, really, right? I think we're again, just in a crazy time. A lot is changing, at home, in the workplace, even, on the streets. Everything is very, very different, right? And it's for us to say, how do we come out on top? How do we become better people? Let's use this time for introspection. Let's use this time for trying new things. Let's also use this time to connect with the people that we love the most. If you thought you couldn't do it and you've made it this far, long live the relationship, right? And if not, that's also okay, because, often we don't give ourselves that time to really think about what it is that we want and, what it is that we don't want. So good on everybody for making it this far. You're not alone. And I think that's probably one of the biggest things that we should remember, is that we're in this together. And we've got to take, things one day at a time, right? So again, back to some of the sort of questions and topics I received sometime in the week. There was a really cool question that I received about like co-parenting and how, I manage with my children. I don't even want to lie, I think in the beginning it was probably so difficult. And, if you're with someone and you have a kid, and, somewhere down the line you decide, fuck, this is not for me, and I don't really love this person, and, they're not good for me, or whatever the case is, you're torn between making it work because of your child, or, moving on, and what's that thing about setting someone free, or whatever the fuck, I don't know. So it's like, what do I do, right? And for me, it's always like, if you and, the other parent have a good relationship, if you respect one another, if you, talk to each other amicably, if you know that whatever it is that you're doing is for, the interest of your child, etc., you're good to go. Things become so fucking easy, right? And I'm in a very unique situation because, my current partner, who I love so dearly, has, stepped in as this male role model, very supportive, very involved, gives advice. I remember when Amma was like, still in the bottle, and I was like, fuck, we need to get to a stage now where we got to take that away. But I kept on, saying I'll do it, and then I didn't do it, saying I'll do it, and then I didn't do it. And one day, Babs was like, fuck, let's just do it. And I cried, and Amal cried, and it was so difficult because as a mother, you're like, fuck, let me just give him what he wants, right? And then you've got this other, individual who is like, we've got to be tough, and we really have to, do it now, because if we don't do it now, everybody's in shit, right? So it's really also about just having support right there, and shout out to Babs as well for stepping in. And it's so great because, I've got my son's dad who is here, and I've got, my current partner who's also here, and we're all just on the same page. We love each other, we respect each other. Everybody knows that, we really have to think about the bigger picture, which is always being positive, always communicating, and just really fucking, creating a great space and environment for the youngins, So shout out to me, of course, for being the bigger person, and saying, I want to have a great relationship with everybody. Shout out to Babs as well for stepping in. And wherever the fuck this jar is going, I'll send y'all my address for the fuck jar. I'm so sorry. Okay, so co-parenting, very difficult. It has its challenges, but it becomes so much easier also as, children go older, and also as they're exposed to, real hardcore, honest people, people that they can look up to, people who, might swear every 2 minutes, but know the importance of good and bad, right and wrong. I'm really hating this fuck jar. Oh my goodness. I should probably sip for every time I swear. I think while you guys collect the cash, I'll sip, fuck. So, if you're really, struggling with co-parenting, I think as parents, you need to have an understanding. You need to have a good relationship. You need to really, really know how to communicate. If I've got the kid, I'm going to have the best time. I'm going to send pictures to his dad. I'm going to make sure that there's constant communication. I never have to be on the phone, but as long as you guys are on the phone, that's cool. And vice versa, right? And it gets easy, trust me. It gets really, really easy. And I think, it's so beautiful when you're not with that person, but they accept your current situation. They accept your new partner. They accept your life. It's part of growing up. It's part of being a bigger and better person. It's also part of not interfering. Who gives a fuck if, the other person has moved on and they're living their best life, but putting their children first, right? So, if you're a parent and maybe you're a single parent, how is that for you? Why are you a single parent? There's nothing wrong with that. But as Dumi just said, it's so healthy for children when everybody can just talk freely about each other. It's like your dad's on the line, or okay, cool. So your dad's on the line. Let's FaceTime, let's video call. It's so beautiful when tonight the most incredible thing happened. So AJ was on the phone with his dad. And his dad was like, shit. Well, okay, barring the shit. But I see you had mokoro for dinner, and AJ was like, yes, I had, 2 plates, etc. And his dad was like, did you thank your uncle? And AJ was like, no. And his dad said, go do it now. So here AJ comes and he thanked, Babs for dinner. And that is like such a great sign of, what's the word? Camaraderie? That's a terrible word. It's a great example of us really coexisting and making things so beautiful for, this young boy. And, we're really just so blessed to have made it this far. I can go on about all the shit that we've been through. Sip, okay. But I'm really confident in people out there who, struggling with this co-parent thing, because it's not difficult, but trust me, it gets easier, right? The mokoro, by the way, was fantastic. I think that, for me, I have to be honest, when, it comes to family gatherings and things like that, I'll have a bit of it, but I'll have it like on the side with other meats and, beetroot and all those kind of things, never really on its own. I know people can have like a whole plate. I mean, Babs had 3. So, I think, to be able to have 3 plates is a bit hectic, But I think there's also a story behind that, because, my partner absolutely loves mokoro, and it's a dish that's very close to his heart. It's something that, he always asks his mom to make when he goes home. And, it really meant something for him to, now be able to make it at home for himself, So I think, again, there's always a story in the things that we do. Why are we doing this, and what are we doing it for? And, then at the end I was told, this wasn't really for you. I wasn't making this for you. I was making it for myself, which is also fine, because I understand the love and the passion for tripe, So yes. Oh, Shakira, we definitely had pop with it. It was like a last minute thing, because I don't think you can really have pop on like toast or anything. So we hooked it up. Yes! Shout out to Menzi, shout out to this Dizzle guy, shout out to Dumi, Ken, everybody who's hanging out with me. So, spoke about the, makeup thing, the co-parenting thing, the Mohodu thing. Big shout out to Babs for that. Speaking of food, I really, really think that, it's great to have had this lockdown from a food perspective, because fuck, we're cooking, we're not necessarily eating healthy, but we're really being creative in the kitchen. We know what's in our food, we had this conversation about like boneless chicken and how you can't just trust anything that's out there, right? So at least when you're at home and you're making all this great food, you know what you're eating, and everything's all kosher and that kind of stuff. Since, the reintroduction and induction of Uber Eats, we have not had any of that shit. I'm so proud. I feel like, everybody's probably going to hate me for not having at least one hot wing. But, I think as a family and as a unit, we're also more conscious of, what's out there and what, we always used to buy, oh, I'm feeling like this, oh, I'm feeling like that, So just from a food point of view, I'm really, really happy about, everything that we've achieved food-wise, what we've made food-wise, And we had a Mohodu Saturday, so shout out. Holla back. So I think there was one more sort of topic that I wanted to sort of share, and that was just pretty much about like one's daily routine and how I've been kind of managing my days during the lockdown. I saw there was a question about what I'm drinking. Today I'm having a pineapple vodka and Woolies pineapple juice. I had to say Woolies. So that's what I'm having tonight. As you can see, no more whiskey. So we're just having a bit of vodka and pine. So yeah, in terms of like daily routine, I think, for me, I'm not a morning person. I hate waking up early. And I really, really think that, just even having the kids around 24/7 has forced me to be a morning person, because you wake up and you're like, oh fuck, peeps need wheat bix, oh fuck, peeps need a snack. So, I've really had to relearn the importance of routine. So, waking up and, faga wheat bix, then it's like homework somewhere in there, and it's shower somewhere in there, and then, someone's chatty's pants, also in the mix, and there's that, and then we've got to consider, the smoke break and work as well, and then, people need, a midday snack, I don't know what the fuck for, but, I don't know if it's like a small tummy thing or whatever, but, there's that, and then, it's like, oh fuck, what's for dinner? And yeah, I'm always say, babe, give me some of that. So it's the minute you just, babe, some of that. So there's also that, managing that behavior and habit. And then what's for dinner? What are we making? And AJ is super bougie, and oh, there's too much salt, mommy, or oh, this is so hot, or oh, So, with time, it's been about finding the balance between being a mom, satisfying your other half, whether it's in the morning or at the end of a tough day, and just managing a house. And I'm such a crazy germaphobe. I am, super OCD. I need a lot of things to be in place. There can be so much chaos around, but the floor has to be swept and mopped, So just from like a routine point of view, there's obviously the basics, wake up, faga wheat bix, bit of laundry here and there, put all the shit in the dishwasher, maybe do a sweep here and there and mop a little bit. I mean, that's drying, have a smoke, do a little bit of work, or a lot of work, and also get, some of the things that I really enjoy straight in there, practicing my makeup, getting in touch with family. I think that's also one thing that I never used to do often, which I do a lot more of now, sending my mom a message to say, hope you have a great day. She is all about work, and she's really, really dedicated, and she just got her doctorate now, and she's also into like the yoga meditation side of things, so she's also, sending us, clips and voice notes of her doing meditation and, asking us how it is. And we're like, oh, fuck, maybe you need some background music, yeah. So, it's also been a really nice way to just keep in touch with family and find out how they're doing, And I got to keep in touch with the people in Cape Town because, fuck, it's rough there. How's y'all's jar doing? How's the swear jar doing? I don't think you guys are going to make much money. No. But, just also, like I said, it's been quite a great year. But also, after losing my dad, in the beginning of the year, I've also really needed to connect more with my mom and my siblings and that kind of stuff. And I think that, we should never feel guilty for missing a phone call or, not, making the family braai or whatever the fuck. We should never feel guilty. But I think it's really the making an effort, when you can, that is quite important, you know what I mean? So, yeah, thanks for all the condolence messages. Apparently the swear jar is crazy. So Black Coffee raised 500k. Let's try and beat that with the swear jar. That's a little bit ambitious. Fucking ambitious. Oh, there's another one. Oh. So yeah, I'm doing well, and I think that the lockdown. I hate to make this about the lockdown, but I really kind of feel like the lockdown has been great, shitty also, but great, because from a personal development point of view, and just from a family point of view, and a communication point of view, and a sort of ambition point of view, if that makes sense, I've been doing quite well, I think for me, just from a career point of view, I want to try different things. I really want to, get back into my passion and what I love. I think there's also that burning desire to tune in on the radio and listen to me. There's also that, people want me back. And I think it's going to happen. It's definitely going to happen. I'm putting that out there. I'm putting that out there to you. I'm putting that out there to the fucking universe. And I'm putting that out there just from a positive point of view, like it's what I love. And I think that, we've got a really long way to go just in terms of how we operate as a society and as an industry. I love, I don't really tweet that much, if I do, it's like maybe a couple of pictures, but it's really crazy to see what's happening on the timelines, just from a music point of view, to like a raising awareness point of view, to also like a holy shit, is this what our industry, encompasses? Is this what, our industry is all about? Are these the people who are, fucking running the show? I mean, this is shocking, so, like it's always really interesting to see from an objective point of view. Fuck. But it's always really cool to see from the outside, like what's happening, and I've actually stopped asking why. Like, why is this person on air? Why is this person, currently the center of attention? Why is this person, on television? Why is this person, just praised, for not even like, real shit, and this is never like coming from like a hater point of view. I think that if anything, I'm like the most opposite person to a hater. What's the opposite of a lover? I'm a lover. I'm not trying to fucking hate on anybody. I don't even think I've had any beef with anybody in the industry. Like, do I even qualify as somebody who could have beef with someone? Like, fuck, I have more beef with like cashiers than I do, with like people in the industry. I'm always fighting with cashiers, which is so bad, Would you ever think that I have a short temper? I think everybody's about to say no. I can bet my bottom dollar that I can bet you that fucking swear jar that all of you are going to say I don't look like a fucking short-tempered thing. No. Yes, I look like I have short temper. Okay, I like you because you think you know me. Okay. As I have the shortest temper ever. I shout and swear for absolutely everything. So let me tell you like a quick story. I am very, very meticulous when it comes to groceries. Like when I make my grocery list, I write everything down according to aisles. So I'll first start with like the veggies and the fruits, and then I'll move on to like, do we need cheese and yogurt, like dairy? And then I'll move on to like fucking the meat section, And then on my list, I'll add things like, salt, pepper, olive oil, and that kind of bullshit, So one day, I go to Checkers Pine Slopes, all right? And, go to Checkers Pine Slopes, and I'm like, fuck, I'm super excited. Let's fucking rock, guys. And again, I start, in the fruit and veg section because I'm going according to my list and I fucking know that place, like nobody's business. And I get there and I start with my bananas, etc. And there's a guy at the scale. I don't know if it's called a scale or a weighing machine or whatever the fuck. And this guy is charging his phone, like full blown, leaning on the fucking scale, chatting, I can see the charger, plugged into the fucking scale. And I'm like, okay, well, he's obviously seen me, couldn't give a fuck. It's cool. We'll let it slide, But what really pissed me off was that he couldn't even bother to close my bag, So I leave it. Then I go to like the next section because now we know it's cheese and yogurt and milk and that kind of stuff. And then, now it's time to get meat, right? There's no one there, And I'm like, okay, fuck. So I go to the bread section because bread and meat, I don't know, somehow they always end up next to each other. And I'm like, bread lady, well, excuse me. I'm always so polite. I'm like, hey, guy, and okay, cool, yeah. Can somebody just help me with the meat, And no willingness to help me. She'd rather call somebody else to help me than just come and do it herself. I mean, it's all the same, right? So, she'll get somebody and this person is dragging their fucking feet to get the meat. I'm going to cut the story really short. And, eventually she comes and it's like no enthusiasm whatsoever. Fuck all excitement to just weigh a couple of fucking lamb chops, right? And, eventually I get whatever the fuck I need and I'm like, okay, cool, let's go to the olive oil section. And there's like gang olive oil, like, bah, 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 one is 79, one is 89, one is 92, one is 45. There's no fucking olive oil that is less than 50, right? Cool. And now I'm ready to choose and there's 3 ladies having a fat fucking conversation in my full view of all the olive oil, right? So we're just having a conversation and no one's going to move and even ask me if I'm okay and even ask me or, maybe even suggest a particular fucking type of olive oil, right? Cool. And no. So I just wait for them to finish. Sorry, am I disturbing your conversation? And by the way, they are totally on their fucking shift, right? So eventually I fucking just had enough. I get my olive oil and I'm like, you know what? I don't actually feel like finishing the rest of my grocery list, right? So I get to the till. Now this one is like, luckily, she's so lucky that she greeted me, because if she didn't, she was going to actually fucking feel the burn now, and I was going to take all my shit on her. And, the usual plastic. And I was like, oh, fuck, plastic. What must I do with the plastic, And I said, oh, sorry, Lovey, where's the manager? She says, oh, she's like, like she's not even trying to fucking waze me to the manager, It's like, oh, So I get to the manager. And lo and behold, the fucking manager is having knickknacks with a comrade of hers. And I said, oh boy, if the manager is having knickknacks, I'm so fucked. I'm not winning this case, And, eventually, whatever, she just fucking, and I said, oh, sorry, am I disturbing you? Because, I have to ask, And, eventually, long story short, she comes and I shout, and I start with the guy by the fruit and veg. And I say, why the fuck is this guy charging his phone while he's on shift? Why is he just... And I lost it. And I said, you know what, guys? You must make time to look at the security cameras. And you see that crazy fucking lady swearing and losing her mind. That is me. I want you to never forget me, And I said to them, I said, if the manager is having knickknacks, this is the example you're setting for everybody. Everybody's just fucking playing hopscotch and not giving a fuck. And you guys have no idea. Maybe I'm the manager. Maybe I'm the CE fucking O of Checkers. You know what I mean? So, guys, I lose it all the time. I fucking really lose it all the time. And I won't even lie to you. I really just... It's the smallest things that just piss me the fuck off, So, long story short, and my point was, how can I experience bullshit in every aisle? Let's start there. At least the guy, by the scale could have been enough, right? So, but anyway, I just thought I'd share that, because I do lose my shit. I lose my shit a lot. Oh, actually, wait. It gets better. I've got let me just check if I still have his number. I'm going to flex now. His name is Denzel Stevens. Denzel Stevens, regional manager of Checkers. That's how far I took this. And you know what I do now? When I see shit in Checkers, I say, sorry, do you know Denzel? They say, oh, the regional manager. I say, yes. I've got him here. So, I'm not just going to leave it at Mrs. Knickknacks. I'm going to fucking take it to Denzel. I've got Denzel Stevens. I don't know if you can see that, guys. Regional manager of Checkers, People, and, what frustrates me is that you've got a guy who obviously has no intention of becoming a regional manager. He couldn't give a fuck about, elevating himself. Being a store manager, let alone, a cashier, being a store manager is like it's like a thing, I aspire to be that. I aspire to run this shop, I aspire to, put people in their place. I aspire to be a Denzel, you know what I'm saying? So I think in any organization, whether it's a Checkers, whether it's a fucking butcher, you wear that apron with pride, you wear that badge with pride, and also if you don't have a fucking badge, where the fuck is it? That's another fuck up, So, shout out to my man Denzel. And I've used it. I've used that line a couple of times, like, do you know Denzel? Oh, he's the regional, but not of this region. We are not in his region. I don't give a fuck. Anyway, I don't even think I took the olive oil that day, to be honest, because our guy, just fucked it all up for me. So, but again, like, if you know me, you'll know that I am very pedantic about a lot of stuff, and I really expect the best service. Not because I'm, this, that, or the other, not because I'm wearing this particular shirt, not because I might drive, the latest BMW, or not because I might have the latest iPhone, or not because, I can't cook, or whatever the case is. I can cook, by the way. It's because, I'm rendering a service. I need you to pack my shit and tie it with a fucking knot. You know what I mean? I need you to you don't have to call me ma'am, but there has to be just a level of respect and enthusiasm. Like how, and just enough enthusiasm. Like you go to a restaurant and they're like, oh, is everything fine? And you're like, fuck, I haven't even tasted everything on my plate. So that's like a bit too much, But, I really think that in any position, organization, environment, you have to be really, really enthusiastic and passionate and really energetic, like you could literally be like weighing fruit, do it with a finesse, be sexy about it, fucking, like just, no one's saying take your time, but like really just do your thing. Why are we charging our phones by the machine? I didn't even know a fucking scale for fruit could charge phones. Like how crazy is that? But anyway, okay. Enough about my rant. That was a really cool story that I thought I'd share with you. But like on a serious note, just always like, have fun with it. Didn't bring the olive oil home for the last time. I'm running out of alcohol. But yeah, like as Saidizi is saying, show interest in your work and give it your best, because my closing line, my fucking drops mic moment after I've shat on everybody is, I'm like the 1% of people that can make your life hell. I'm the 1% who's going to complain, who's going to get Denzel to come here, and I think that, it's from a I want you to be better point of view, all right? I want you to think about your attitude, right? And like if I look at my personal, development or my career or whatever, I've always had a great attitude. I've had a positive attitude towards, people who, I interview, people who, step into my studio. I've always had a really, really great, attitude. Fuck. Okay. But yes, so shout out to Denzel. He's my guy. Check his regional manager. I don't know if he's still there. But yeah, I would love to. Excuse me. Just pour another drink. So I think we'll do like a bit of a Bacardi. I don't know if you can have Bacardi neat. We'll try it out. But it actually smells like turpentine. Okay. Just give it a go. I'm actually more afraid of standing up so that you can see what's on the bottom. I've got this great shirt, and then we don't know what's happening in the bottom. Okay, cool. Right. I really, really love the banter that's going on right now. Shout out to this Dizzle guy. Don't know who that is. Don. Corleone. All right. I think Don just doesn't have olive oil. That's why he's really trying to fucking get some from me. Okay, cat's out of the bag. I'm wearing sweatpants. So I guess that I can get ice and a bit of Coke for this. But yeah, I think also like, from just a happy, moving forward perspective. I really dig, positive vibes and great energy and love, in the studio, like when you're doing radio, there's got to be love from everybody, and it's got to transcend through the things you say, the way you say it. It's got to transcend through your fucking music, It's got to transcend through just your body language as well, So I think that's also something that we need to be aware of, like how we carry ourselves and how we do things. And, now you're looking at me and you're like, fuck, bedroom hair, it was a bit of a wild night. But, on the other hand, you're like, there's energy, there's vibe, there's love, there's positivity, there's enthusiasm, you know what I mean? And it also is like a tit for tat thing, like I get great energy from you, and it's kind of like we're bouncing off each other and that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? So yeah, man. Okay. That's actually very true. I think I need to be one of those people that start abusing my contacts. I should say Denzel. Some of us are thirsty. And Denzel, I think, is a great guy. But he also has comments like, like I'll go to Denzel. I'll be like, oh, Denzel, I just had a terrible experience at this particular Checkers, and then he'll be like, oh, it's that time of the year, maybe people are tired. And then I'm like, fuck, this is a waste of a contact, because what the fuck, like at the end of the year, this is when you should be really on your fucking toes, mate, like you can't as a regional manager, make excuses for poor service and for shitty staff and people who really, just couldn't give a fuck. I don't know if it would be a bad idea to share Denzel's number on this Instagram. Like I'm sure if we just gave Denzel a ring, and we just said, what are your thoughts, Denzel? What do you have to say about Checkers? Really, really glad that, everybody's got their mask and they're fucking sanitizing like a motherfucker. But, let's talk about the individuals. How are they? Has there been some improvement? Okay, I'd love to just pour a little bit of Coke in here and just get some ice. Excuse me. I'm going to do this so that you don't see my sweatpants. But I'm still here. I'm absolutely still here. This is so unprofessional. Probably should have a guide to do this one. Okay. This is a lot of Coca-Cola. I don't think I put enough ice. Anyway. Okay. Okay. Oh, that is so good. Oh my goodness. All right. Cool. So, there you can see the sweatpants. Shit. That's not gonna work. Okay. So, yes. Anyway, I'm having so much fun. I won't even lie. I love this. And Norris_NA, first of all, you're my favorite because you have an underscore in your name. And secondly, you're not late. I'll definitely post this on my IGTV episode 2 of Off the Cuff. And just a reminder, like, it's really all about, I'm out of breath. It's all about just, honest banter and me just having a good time and sharing some life experiences and, letting you know that, there's a lot of sides that I've never actually shown to the world. Because I've always been confined, if you're doing radio, there's a certain way of speaking and there's certain things that you have to share, certain things that you can't share. So I'm really cool, with sharing, and that's why I think this is so great because I can most definitely, just talk a whole lot of shit and also just be honest about a lot of things. Okay, I don't know what's going on. I think everybody's just having a conversation amongst themselves, isn't it? How's the swear jar going? Yeah, another thing I just got reminded of is, you know, somebody asked me about like my hair and a couple of hair, you know, tips and things like that. So first of all, love bragging about my hair, right? This is all me, right? This is fucking all me, fams. Okay, I might just fuck it up, but this is all me. This is my hair. Gotta thank Mom Dukes, Ice Mom Dukes, you know. And I've always been, you know, not too much of a rebel when it comes to my hair, but I've always loved, you know, experimenting with, you know, one side shaved and then maybe a bit of blonde and then maybe a bit of, you know, braid here and there, maybe like extreme fucking blonde or white cornrows. And then this is probably like the first time that I've dyed it pink. You know, I've never actually gone, you know, anything else besides blonde. I've tried a bit of gray, but this is the first for me. The pink is coming out quite a lot, you know. Check it out. You want to check out? I don't want to show you my roots because you might see a bit of the dandruff, but you know, this is all me. I don't know how does one like. Yes. Oh my goodness. Yes. But this is all me, and I think obviously dyeing your hair too much is a fucking problem. But you know, I think, yeah, just taking good care of your hair and making sure that you always buy shampoos and conditioner that is for more repair, damage repair, and shine, you know, just to give it the food that it needs. I'm not really like a fucking hair connoisseur, if there's even such a thing, but you know, like I try and do what I can, and I think that, you know, when it comes to things like your hair, you should be super daring. Like, just go crazy, go wild, do whatever you want. I don't put olive oil in my hair, maybe just a bit of serum, but you know, be daring. Like, if you can, you know, be crazy and go wild with things like your hair, dye it, do something different, shave it on the side, you know, do a couple of cornrows, put some beads in there, shave it all off, you know. I have nothing against, you know, weaves and extensions and things like that. I think it's also a form of expression. You know, there are one or two of us that are fortunate, you know, but I think it is a form of expression, and I think that we should be very proud of, you know, the choices that we make when it comes to our appearance. And, you know, if being thick is your thing, keep doing it. You know, if pink is your thing, keep dyeing it, you know. And again, you know, thanks for all the comments with the shirt. You know, if you know, color or vintage or, you know, just extreme, I don't know, collars and shit are your thing, just keep doing it, you know. Oh fuck, I forgot there was a fucking straw in there. Oh my goodness, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm losing it. I might have taken a Disprin before this. But yeah, I think, you know, I want to try maybe like a blue or a bit of a gray, you know. I don't know how far I'll get, but yeah, I think like we should totally just be who we want to be, you know. So yeah, definitely gonna try something different with the hair vibes, and then, you know, take it from there. One thing I didn't share is, you know, during the lockdown, of course, you know, the family members got a bit wider than usual. And, you know, that's for obvious reasons. And then, you know, when the lockdown was lifted a little bit, I felt so bad, like a few days later, but I fucking shat on Babs. And I was like, if you dare fucking go out there and run, I'm gonna fuck you up. And I felt so bad, you know, all the guy just wanted to do was just jog, you know. And, you know, he compromised and you know, bought a treadmill. And that was like one of the highlights of the week, that we now have a treadmill where we can just run indoors and, you know, just, you know, get the best of both worlds, you know, exercise, but like exercise in the house, you know. So I think also there, you know, I learned a couple of things as well, is to always listen to your other half and remember that, you know, they also have needs. They also have, you know, likes and things that are really important to them, which we should always, you know, consider and take into consideration rather. You know, it's like if you're really passionate about something, let's see how we can make it work. Let's see how we can all benefit and all be happy, you know. So, you know, I'm all for keeping fit. You know, I love to exercise. And that's not me lying. That's me, you know, genuinely saying I love to exercise. But I just think that now we should just take a chill pill. Nothing wrong with that. But again, you know, just really consider your other half, and, you know, never forget that, you know, a lockdown is a lockdown, and, you know, we have to abide by certain rules, but we don't have to change. We don't have to, you know, conform. We can still make a lot of things work, like, you know, supporting the black market. There's nothing wrong with that, you know, making things work. You know, learning new skills and also, again, you know, finding other ways to exercise, finding other ways to incorporate the things that you used to do. You know, if you're, you know, really, really keen to travel, or you used to travel quite a lot, I don't know, watch the Discovery Channel, I guess, you know, Nat Geo Wild, I don't know, 80 Days Around the World. But make things work and really just try and remember that, you know, there are also things that our partners, you know, really want to do, and if they're not able to do it, they're probably going to lose their mind and deprive you of you know, physical content, or sexual favors rather, you know. So do the things that really, really make you happy, you know, especially within your relationship, right? So yeah, I would have to say that I didn't expect the, you know, IG to go the way that it did, you know, but this is off the cuff, and I always just want to be totally free in the things that I say. And I also want everybody here to be totally free. Like, I love all the messages coming through. I love the emojis. I love the yes. I love that everybody's just interacting and engaging with everybody. I think that's so totally cool. I think also, like, while we are on the topic of relationships, I'd love to do like a fucking hardcore relationship journey. And I think maybe if you guys are cool with it, you know, Babs can get involved as well. I think that would be nice. I'm gonna do this again next week Saturday. I must say, dun dun dun, that I'm going away this weekend, right? Please don't fucking be a snitch and, you know, tell the world that I'm fucking traveling and shit. But, you know, taking a short road trip with Babs and the boys. And I'm definitely still going to do my Instagram live from the beautiful hills and mountains of St. Machalis. Really excited. So I really, really, you know, want to do this every single weekend. I want to hang out. I want to just speak my mind. I want everybody to just engage with me and just fucking, you know, have a good time. You know, it's not always about support. It's about, you know, knowing that, fuck, other people are going through the same shit as me, and vice versa, you know. Oh, fuck, you know, there are, you know, people who get me, get my banter, get, you know, the things that I talk about, and enjoy the things that I talk about. And this is totally fucking unscripted fun, right? So I've got 44 seconds left of my Instagram live. I'm so fucking sad. But thank you so much to everybody who hung out with me. I'm going to do this more often. Next weekend, I'll be in the mountains, live on Instagram, same time, not same place, not same shirt, same booty. And please, like, you know, hit me up, send me DMs, send me pictures, tag me. I've got 14 seconds, and as usual, I need to give you some time to take some screenshots. So let's do this. 7 seconds remaining. Love you all. I'll see you soon.